Good Thursday evening, high school sports fans. Joe Gillaway with Lingelstown Gazette Sports live from the Orchard Street studio. And this is episode number 13 of our new podcast, Gazette Sports Chat, where we'll get to know participants from various realms of the high school sports world, the student athletes who play the games, the coaches who coach them, and others connected in different ways to the entire experience. We'll introduce you to tonight's guests in just a moment, as soon as we're done thanking those responsible for bringing you tonight's show. Our Lingelstown Gazette Sports Platinum sponsors, and they are Rickabah's Electric, Payor Apparel, Ted's Bar and Grill, Freedom Financial, Wealth Management, The Tire Mart, Team PA, AAU Basketball, Tonino's Pizza, Lingelstown American Legion, Post 272, Hoffman Ford Capital Region Insurance Agency, Modern Imprint, Sam Hartley Decking, Crystal Bob at Howard Hanna Real Estate, and Underdog Sports Bar and Grill. Thanks very much to those great local businesses for their continued support of Lingelstown Gazette Sports and our area's student athletes. Upcoming on Gazette Sports Chat, this coming Tuesday, October 1st, we have some Steel High football players with us. We don't know who yet, but I'll be in communication with Coach Irby over the weekend, and we'll figure out who's coming on to visit us. Then we have every Sunday at 6 o'clock. So this Sunday including will be our high school football week 6 recap show. And we recap everything that happened in the world of Pennsylvania high school football with a focus on the area, Mid-Penn and District 3. It's been going very well. Having a lot of fun with that. We have some great expert regular guests, guys that join us on a weekly basis. So that's Sunday at 6. Okay, so let's get into it here. Tonight's guests are members of one of the top girls volleyball teams in Central Pennsylvania, the 9-2 Central Dauphin Rams. They're heading into the final phase of a very challenging regular season schedule before competing in what will certainly be an extremely competitive District 3 postseason tournament. Let's welcome Mackenzie Cover, Amber Hanks, and Autumn Henry. Welcome, ladies.
Thank you.
Thank you.
How's everybody doing?
Good.
Okay, so this is my canned question I start with all the time. How was practice today?
I missed half of practice today.
You what? You missed half of practice?
Yeah, I had class and
Okay.
we moved practice up early.
So the answer for you was it wasn't too difficult, right?
No, it was great.
How was practice for those who participated for the whole thing?
I think it was pretty good. Oh,
Good.
sorry.
Yeah, we worked on a lot of communication stuff, which I thought was good and will help us with the tough week coming up. So
I think as much or more than just about any other sport, communication in volleyball is so important. And I had a chance to actually get to watch more volleyball than I ever had because I was your public address announcer for a couple of years there, and for the boys. So I showed up, a few years ago, not knowing anything and not having any. I didn't even know how to watch the game. You know what I mean? And I learned a lot, and I really respect what you guys do. So let's start with Kenzie. You are, and what I want to do is I want to kind of go over the positions. And because I think most people probably don't understand what these positions are. I know I didn't, so I'll use myself as an example. You are an opposite hitter, Kenzie, also known as a right side hitter. Is that correct?
yeah.
Okay. And what is an opposite hitter's role?
So I would say that it's mostly offense. We're a very offensive position, but also we have a lot of big blocking assignments. We're trying to stop the other team's outside, which is typically where most teams set the most. So it's a lot of blocking and then transition game to then try to get a kill.
So you're kind of right up there in the mix, right? Right around the net most of the time.
Yeah.
Okay. How about Amber? Libero and defensive specialist, is that correct?
Yep.
Tell us, first of all, libero, that's a kind of a strange name. It's not like, doesn't sound like any other position
No.
on the court. Why libero? Do you know anything about that? What's the history of that word?
I have no idea. All I know is it gets mispronounced a lot.
Is it libero?
Yeah, a lot of people say libero.
I think I might have had it wrong at first too, but so what is a libero?
So I wear the different colored jersey, and I basically control all of the back row, whether it's in serve, receive, or defense. I basically take most of the balls that I can.
And why the different colored jersey?
It's basically for like subs because a middle will never come to the back row and I will never go to the front row.
Okay. But other positions on the floor will change rows, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. And then are you also a defensive specialist?
I can be. That would be like I just went in the back row for like a hitter or someone to play in 6 but I don't play it. I haven't played it recently.
Okay. All right. Okay. Autumn Henry, outside hitter. What's an outside hitter? I let me answer my own question. You kind of a masher, right? They set you up to kind of mash the ball. Is that correct?
Mhm. Yeah. So
You
we're
like
just
that?
in charge of,
I'm sorry.
sorry, from hitting
No,
from the side of the court. It's definitely an easier ball to set when you're out of system. So if there's not as good of a pass, it's easier to get the ball out there and just hope that we can just get it over the net for the most part. We also play in the back row, so we play in the middle back, and also can swing from the back row as long as we don't jump in front of the 10-foot line.
Is this something that you've done for like most of your volleyball? Because I've watched you play. I mean, you crush the ball, and I think that takes a lot of practice, to not hit it out of bounds too far and to not hit it into the net. Is this something you've done for quite a while?
Yeah, so I actually was a setter. So in middle school, I set and hit right side. And then once I got to 9th grade, I switched to outside. And then I went back to my club season after 9th grade and set again. And then ever since then, I've been just an outside.
You did a masher, right? No, how tall are you? Let me ask you that.
5'8". So
5'8". That's not real tall. No, you get up your vertical jump is very good. You get up very high. Yeah. Okay, who wants to tell me there's two positions left that you guys don't cover, don't play. What's a middle blocker do, Kenzie?
Oh, brother.
So did I ask the wrong person?
So a middle blocker is only at the net. They don't play back row. Amber will play back row for them. They control basically the front of the net. They block everyone and essentially are trying to stop the other team. But they do occasionally get set in the offense, but not nearly as much as your right side and outside, just because of the pass has to be like almost perfect for us to run the middle.
Right. Okay. So in an ideal scenario, you guys are, with respect to everybody on the team, you guys are trying to work the ball to Autumn, right? To get her a kill or a chance at a kill. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And then it may be obvious to most people, but who wants to tell me, Amber, what's a setter do?
A setter is like probably one of the hardest positions mentally, just because if your setter's having a bad day, it kind of screws up everything. It screws up like an offense. They have to play defense. But they basically, after a pass, they set the ball to the outside or the middle or the right side to get a kill.
And it requires kind of a great deal of accuracy. I mean, I can see you could be off by a few inches, and you're not going to have the set that your teammates looking for. That's for sure.
Yep.
Autumn, what was your introduction into volleyball? How long have you been playing it? Where did you first learn it?
So actually, Amber's sister, she's 6 years older than us, but she was playing, got my sister into it, who's 3 years older. And I kind of just started playing in my driveway with my sister. We just always passed. And then once I got to the summer before 6th grade, I did a camp and I just loved it. So I've just been playing ever since.
So it's been a while for you, right? Mm-hmm. And then Amber, how about you?
Exact same thing. We started playing together in middle school.
Just insert a different name, right?
Yep.
So you guys have been friends, I guess, for a long time, right?
Oh, a very long time.
That's awesome. That makes things a whole lot better, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And then Kenzie, have you known these girls for a while or no?
Yeah, so I started in 6th grade too. I quit gymnastics. I was a gymnast for like 10 years-ish. And then I was looking for something to do, and one of our middles and I were really close friends. So we were like, oh, we should just go see what it's all about. And we went, and I fell in love with it.
Yeah, and you guys are fortunate that you're playing for a program that's pretty darn good. And so I guess that kind of a great segue to who wants to tell me what it's like to play for Coach Josh Brenneman? I knew somebody was going to get a smile or a laugh on their face. I knew it because I like him a lot. I think he's awesome. I think he's a great guy. Autumn, you seem to be laughing the most. Why don't you tell us?
No, honestly, he's a great coach. He really knows about volleyball. He calls stuff before like anyone would be able to see it. Like he's been around the game for a really long time. He can be tough, but he's also really funny, and I like playing for him. But I played for him since 6th grade, and then I played club for him last year too.
Right. Yeah. So he's kind of like the sage or the guru of the area for club, right? Like, is that the guy you want to play for if you have the opportunity outside of school?
Yeah,
volleyball?
He runs the Yorktown program with Nate. And he actually just started coaching girls again. So last year was his first year coaching girls, but I think next year he's coaching 16s. But yeah, definitely someone people would probably want to play for at some point.
Yeah, I think I would want to play for him, or if I had a kid, a boy or a girl, I'd want them to play for Coach Brenneman. He just seems like he'd be fun to be around, and it kind of seems pretty patient, you know. I mean, after a while, every coach has to kind of say, "Hey, let's put the brakes on here." You know what's going on, but I watch him, and he can sit through periods of you guys aren't playing all that well before he actually, you know, he lets you try to play through it. I guess is what it really comes down to. So, who's a good server out of the three of you? Who's the best server?
Have to serve because
Kenzie doesn't serve.
Not Kenzie?
Not me.
I'm going to Amber for this one. Amber, this is a question a lot of people have. Okay, this is kind of like a general question. What makes you decide if you just want to put a serve into play, like 100%? You know you're going to get it right out into the middle, or try to earn a point with a serve, kind of like a tougher, more line drive serve.
For me personally, I never have like the mindset going into it, just like put the ball in the court. You should always put like an aggressive serve in if you can, even if you miss it. Just because if you give them an easy serve, then they're just going to get like a perfect set and a perfect kill off of it. You have to put pressure on them.
They may as well have had the serve if you give them an easy serve. You're giving them kind of the advantage. Yeah, because when I sit and I watch volleyball, watch you guys or some of your predecessors, you hear the fans that don't have any idea of really what's going on probably. And when a player tries to do like a more aggressive serve and it goes into the net or maybe out of bounds deep, they'll say, just put it in the middle, just knock it. I'm sure you guys hear that, right?
Yeah.
And I guess like in the end, all in all, you just want to try to earn points on serves, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So let's move on to Amber. Talk about being a member of the Central Dauphin girls volleyball program. Is this kind of one of those programs in the area that's more elite, that you know you're going to have a chance to win some games, maybe get a good postseason seed, as opposed to some other schools in the area?
I think we have always had a good chance. It's just like it takes a long time throughout the season to like build up to the skill level that you need. But we also are all super, super close, which helps. We do a lot of team bonding, which helps our performance at like games and practices a lot. Now,
you're all seniors. What is it about this? I mean, you guys are doing really well this year. What is it about this year's team that's kind of, I think, probably a little better than the last couple, right? I mean, record-wise, for sure. Mackenzie?
So I think that it absolutely comes from like the friendship behind it. I think that we have a really, really good group of girls who've been playing for a while, and we like, I don't want to be like, we kind of know what we're thinking, but I think we can all like kind of read each other's mind in a sense of like what we're thinking, what we're going to do. And I also think that it comes with experience. We had a pretty young team the past 2 years. Like when we were sophomores and juniors, we were young. So I think that having the past 2 seasons to kind of use that, I think that's really helped too.
So it's a game or a sport that's not all about talent, right? You have to have the talent, but I think sometimes you may be able to have a little less talent as long as you're cohesive and you play together as a team, Autumn.
Yeah, I think communication is definitely key. And also, like Kenzie said, like we're so close that like it really helps if the whole team like doesn't like each other, or there's like issues or whatever, it makes it really hard to play and like continue to encourage each other and stay positive and everything. Right. And I definitely think us being close and communication and everything definitely helps us go further.
Okay, Autumn, I'll stick with you. Most 5-set matches or even some 4-set matches can really ebb and flow. They can go your way for a while, then not go your way. And it can be for long periods that, you feel like, oh, we got this one, or man, how are we going to come back from this one? Lots of highs and lows. How do you keep your emotions in check and work through let's say the periods where things aren't going your way?
Yeah, it can be very overwhelming, but in volleyball, like everyone knows, like it's never over. Like you could be down by so many points and then get a run and all of a sudden you're back in the game. And I think that us just continuing to stay positive, encourage each other and everything can really help be the difference between catching up with the other team and then possibly losing that set.
Yeah, because I mean, Coach Bredeman only has so many timeouts.
Yeah.
You have to kind of use those strategically. And other than the timeouts, you guys just kind of have to work through it. It's stressful to watch sometimes. It really is. And I always wonder, man, how do these guys feel out here? It's so stressful just to be there and watch you guys go through it. So, yeah, I mean, it's as much or more than most sports that I've been around. It's just it kind of comes across as a stressful sport at times. Okay, I have to talk about this. You guys are coming off of a loss yesterday. To what is probably, and I say this with respect, an inferior Cedar Cliff team, at least inferior over the span of this season to this point. You had already beaten them in straight sets just 3 weeks ago. What's the mood like? Let's just say in practice today, you got to kind of dust yourself off, go home, get a good night's sleep, and start over. But you guys show up ready to pick each other up and get back on, or stay on the path. I'm not saying you got off the path, but how was the mood, Amber, today?
When I walked in, everyone seemed kind of sad because I think we all knew we had the talent to win that game. But I think we all kind of went into it like, oh, we're going to sweep them like we did last time. And they came out and wanted to win, and they did. They played it really, really good. Their outside was amazing, and we just couldn't fight back. I think we all kind of got really, really down on ourselves.
Yeah, it seems like most seasons in any sport, you have that game, and it's never fun. And you think, oh my gosh, how are we going to recover from that? And it kind of takes a few days, maybe until that next good game that you have, to work through it. But, Amber, you credited Cedar Cliff. I liked your answer a lot. You said they showed up to win, and, they had a plan and they executed it, obviously. Autumn, is this a team that can make a run for a District 3 title? You guys right now are second in the power rankings. I think you've dropped one in the power rankings. Hempfield, I believe, is another good team. And but what are you guys anticipating or expecting from yourselves in the tournament?
Honestly, I think we can make it really far. And like obviously the loss yesterday was really tough, but I think that might have given us the realization that like we're not always going to win. Like we need to keep pushing, keep working hard in practices, and let it motivate us instead of bring us down. And this upcoming week, we have some really tough games. So I think that could actually give us the motivation we need to possibly beat State College, because that was obviously a tough loss last time. But
yeah, I guess right now in the Commonwealth, it's you and State College, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then they're not are they in District 3? I don't think so for the tournament. No, for most sports, they're not. Kenzie, how about talk a little bit about club, or what do you call it? You call it club or travel? What do they call it in volleyball?
We call it club, yeah.
Club. And what does club entail? Like basketball, they call it AAU. Soccer, it's called club or academy. What is club volleyball all about?
So club volleyball, you're with a different group of girls. So you're typically not with anyone from your school. I played for Fusion all throughout high school. So it was a lot of girls from the West Shore, so like from Cumberland Valley, Cedar Cliff, Mechanicsburg. And our team travels up and down the East Coast. We went to nationals in Florida. We go to certain qualifiers in Philly and Pittsburgh. It's like 2-3 practices a week. But it definitely, there's a lot more that goes into that, in my opinion, than school season.
Amber, do you do the same thing? Do you have the same like kind of year-round routine?
Yep, I played at Yorktown. We had 2 practices a week, and we went to a lot of tournaments, traveled a lot. We went to Kentucky this year. Like, we go to Baltimore, Florida. Like, you go everywhere.
Wow.
try to play the hardest teams you can to get the most experience.
So it's pretty much the same. I'm familiar with AAU basketball. They do the same, pretty much the same thing. You know, it's 2 practices a week, and they do travel up and down the East Coast and sometimes further. But so you guys are all in. You know, is there any point in the year, like a month or two, that there's no volleyball? You're able to just get away? Autumn?
Not really. The end of October is kind of free, depending on how far you make it in districts, obviously. And then we get right back into it around November, December for club, because we already had our club tryouts for this next upcoming year back in the summer. So we already have the team, so we can start getting into practices pretty much right when high school's done.
So the club coaches have to leave that October period open for the teams, the players whose teams do go deep in districts, I guess, and states. And you have states, after districts. So what do you do for fun? I'll stay with you, Autumn, outside of volleyball.
I
You
like
gotta have
watching
something.
movies.
Okay, that's good. That's good. You were about to be the first person that wasn't able to answer that question. What else?
I like hanging out with my friends and family.
That's a common, yeah.
My
That's
whole
good.
life is basically volleyball.
No, that's okay. That's okay. There's no right answer to that, you know. And I like to hear that you spend time with your friends. And what's give me like a favorite movie of yours, or one that you like? Just one. Do you have one that you can watch like anytime it comes on? You'll stay with it and watch it.
I actually can't think of anything.
Okay, that's okay. And I promised you all the questions would be easy. Okay, that's fine. How about Kenzie? What about you? What do you like to do outside of volleyball?
Like Autumn said, I really enjoy spending time with friends and family. I like spending time outdoors. I like going hiking, going on walks, doing stuff with my dog. I have a dog.
Nice.
Like him. I really like being outside and getting.
Where do you hike?
I like to go to Big Boy Big Tree.
Yeah,
it's really close to my house. So
I asked you that because I hike and I like to walk like really long distances, and it's hard to explain. People go, "What do you like about that?" And it's really hard to explain. You know, you either like to hike or you don't. And that there's areas up there in Boyd's Big Tree that are really challenging. Even for a better hiker, you know, once you get up to closer to the top of the mountain. So that's good to hear. And then we have the Appalachian Trail very, very close by. I don't know if you've ever been up there. That's a good hike up there. Amber, you're up. What do you like to do outside of volleyball?
I also like to hang out with my friends. I love hiking. I love the outdoors.
Good.
But obviously you can only do that really in the summer.
No.
But I also
you got to wear layers. You got to wear like lots of layers in the winter.
I just don't know. I feel like I'm gonna slip or something in the winter.
Yeah, you're right.
But I also I love my job, so I work at Francesca's, so I like to work there in my free time.
What's that? Is that a restaurant? It sounds like a restaurant.
It's like a little retail store.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, I spend a lot of my time there.
Okay, that's good. You have friends there too? People you like to work with?
Yeah, I've made a lot of friends there.
Okay, so I think I'm going to probably know the answer to this before I ask it, but I'm going to ask you each individually. We'll start with Autumn. What are your plans for after graduation?
So I want to go to college and play at some point. And then I also, after that, want to go to cosmetology school and get my beauty license so I can do hair.
Good. Okay. So you want to end up probably owning your own shop at salon at some point?
Yep.
Good. But you want to continue your volleyball career, right?
Yeah, I can't imagine being done after this year.
I can't imagine any of you being done after this year. That's why I said I probably know the answer. How about you, Kenzie?
So I am not playing volleyball in college. I want to go to college. I want to be a physician's assistant. So the plan is to go to college for 4 years, hopefully on the PA track, and then go to PA school after, do residency. And
sometimes you have to choose one or the other. Your sport or your major, you know, and the stars don't always line up for that. So you're going to be okay with just kind of playing here and there with your friends, or
Yeah, I mean, it was
Brightville Park on the weekends or something.
yeah, it was obviously a hard decision. Some of the schools I was looking at, like I liked them. I really liked some of the coaches I talked to. But it just came down to the fact that I couldn't go to a smaller school and then get into PA school,
Your boys team a couple years ago that was really successful that went to the state championship. You had so many talented boys on that team, but the same thing happened. They all got into these great schools, and oftentimes it's tough. When I think 3 of them went to Penn State, 3 or 4 went to Penn State main campus. I mean, that's tough to play volleyball there. So they kind of had to do the same thing. And then there's always club up there and stuff like that. But Amber, how about you?
I'm also not playing in college.
Okay, so I was wrong. Okay. I figured all 3 of you would say, what's your plans for after high school, Amber?
I plan to go to some college nearby, and then I want to study accounting with a minor in business analytics.
Sounds difficult. It really does. Is that what you like then, huh? Numbers?
Yeah, I'm a big numbers person.
What's your favorite class in school?
Math. Right now I'm in accounting, and it's my favorite class.
Oh, wow. Autumn, do you have a favorite class?
I love math too. I actually was in Calc this year and I dropped out because it was really hard.
Wow.
But I'm also in accounting 1 now and I really like it. So,
Kenzie, do you have a favorite class?
I really like sciences. My favorite class I'm taking right now is AP Psych. I have a really great teacher. So that's probably my favorite class right now.
So you guys like the tough classes, I guess. Talk about the experience just being in Central Dauphin, Autumn, the school, being a student there, outside of volleyball, the level of diversity and the kids there and the teachers. Do you enjoy being a Central Dauphin student?
Yeah, I really like it. I feel like I haven't really had any like bad encounters with students or anything. Like I feel like everyone's just very like friendly. I love the teachers. I feel like they're very supportive. I don't know. I don't have anything bad to say, but
Amber, how about you?
I also have nothing bad to say. I feel like everyone that I've met has been really like inclusive, and all the teachers are always willing to help you and everything.
Do the kids still come out and support you guys during your matches?
Mostly during the hard matches. I feel like they don't.
Yeah, I see that CB
and stuff. Yeah,
but they'll show up pretty strong though sometimes.
Yeah,
I mean,
they will.
Carrying on. Kenzie, can you hear them when you're there? Can you hear them carrying on and supporting you?
Yeah, we definitely can. It can be a little bit of a distraction, but just you kind of learn to tune them out.
Well, how do you think the opposition feels if it's a distraction for you? Because the Ram Mob, they can get a little raw every now and then,
They do. Some of the stuff they say, I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Yep. So what does this team have to do? I mean, this could be like a canned question, but what does this team have to do, Autumn, to be prepared to make a good run for the postseason?
I feel like honestly just staying focused in practice, and like obviously everyone says like you practice how you're going to play in a game, and I think we really need to put that mindset into it. And we have pretty good communication, but we definitely could improve on that. And like I said, practicing that in games and everything, so we're not just thrown into the first district game like not having the communication. And our assistant coach is all about talking and everything. And like she said, like teams can talk you off the court. Like if you're playing and the other team is just talking and like flowing really well with each other, like that can really like be the difference between winning or losing. So,
and you guys are so close to the opposition too, especially the players that play up front. You guys are right there, face to face. Is there ever any kind of heckling or dogging each other going on?
Not really. No, we're pretty much any time we talk to anyone, it's mostly friends that we play club with or just know from other schools. But
yeah, that's true. That's different than when I played sports, and that was obviously a long time ago. But I see, like the last 2 years, I follow your softball team, and 2 years ago, Cumberland Valley beat Central Dauphin in the district championship, and they all embraced in the middle of the field. And I sat there thinking, what is going on here? Like they just played this huge game. And then I came to find out that they played with one another. They had played growing up, and then they still did in some travel teams. And then the next year, This past season, Central Dauphin beat Cumberland Valley. They kind of exacted revenge, and it was the same thing, So, do you like playing Amber against some of the girls that you play with in your club games?
I do, because especially I feel like I don't play a lot of the girls I play with in club, just they're always in different districts, but there's like this one girl that I played with from State College, so obviously I don't get to see her very often because State College is far. So when I get to play her, it's like nice to see how much better she got, and like nice to say hi to her and catch up.
That's good. I like to see that. Kenzie, talk about a typical practice. Okay, maybe there's some younger kids watching here, or they may watch, tonight or tomorrow. So if you were to talk about, and I'm not asking you to sell volleyball to anybody, but what does a typical practice entail?
I know at CD we do a lot of like wave play, drill play. So like today we did a lot of like 6v6 stuff. So lots of practicing the gameplay. We do a lot of serve receive too. Josh believes that good serve receive wins games, which I also agree with. So we definitely work on that. Also goes hand in hand with the communication. We've been doing a lot of blocking and like at the net stuff this year. So that's been incorporated into a lot of our practices too.
Okay. So you feel like you guys get a lot done?
Yeah.
In practice?
Yeah.
And other than Amber, or who only was at half the practice today?
Yeah, Amber.
Did you guys feel like you got a lot accomplished, coming off the loss and having to get ready for this tough stretch, Autumn?
Yeah, I personally think so. And also I'm kind of glad like Josh didn't like dwell on the fact that we lost, because obviously we all know that just like it's very frustrating. It sucks like to have a loss or another loss now, but
right.
We moved forward from it, and I think we had a pretty good practice.
Good. Okay, so we're going to transition here into something that we call keeping it light. Okay, does anybody know what keeping it light is? All right, this is easy. Has nothing to do with volleyball. Okay, has nothing to do with any of the stuff we just discussed for the last 32 minutes. I'm just going to ask you some things to let the viewers get to learn a little bit more about you. Okay, and let's start with Amber. Favorite meal? Let's just say it's your birthday and your mom or your dad or your boy, whoever says, "Hey, we're going to go out and get you your favorite meal." What's that meal going to be?
Cheeseburger and mac and cheese.
Oh man, that's good. I love a good cheeseburger. I go to like kind of fine dining restaurants sometimes. All my friends are getting like halibut or salmon or prime rib, and I get a cheeseburger just because I like them.
And chicken nuggets.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's hard to find anything better than a good cheeseburger. That's a great answer. Okay, let's go to Autumn. Favorite musical artist or group?
I love country music, so I like Zach Bryan and Morgan Wallen.
Okay, that's two of the more. Were you at the concert last week?
No.
Zach Bryan?
No.
That was real close by, wasn't it?
I think there was a Luke Bryan concert.
Oh, I got that wrong. Okay. I just showed my country western. Okay. Yeah, it was like out in some farmer's field or something like that.
Yeah, I heard about that. Yeah.
Okay. Kenzie, you ready?
Yep.
Let's find a good one for Kenzie. Favorite vacation spot? Do you have a place that you like to go that your family goes on a regular basis, or?
We go down to Sunset Beach in North Carolina. It's called the Retirement Community down there because it's like an hour from Myrtle Beach. So like a lot of the people go to Myrtle Beach. It's just like this little quaint little island, and I absolutely love it down there. Okay.
Amber, all-time favorite athlete, any sport at any level. It cannot be you or any of your teammates.
Probably Lexi Rodriguez. She plays the libero position for Nebraska.
And Nebraska is the college or volleyball program, right?
Mm-hmm.
Tell the viewers what how many people Nebraska plays in front of sometimes.
I think they played 90,000.
Yeah, right.
In the outdoor stadium, yeah.
Right, where the football team plays, and they fill the whole thing up. I mean, how exciting is that to be a volleyball player where you're kind of, I don't want to use the term drowned out, but I mean, let's face it, football and basketball, some of these sports they just get a lot more attention, But how exciting is that to know that 90,000 people are showing up, buying tickets to watch a volleyball match?
It's honestly really exciting because I feel like not many people like watch volleyball as much as like football, and especially because like fall sports like football, soccer, they kind of volleyball kind of gets like overshadowed.
Right.
So something like that was like really cool to watch.
Well, I entered when I was doing the public address announcing. I entered it very open-minded. I didn't know anything about it, and I'll tell you what, it's a great sport. I mean, it's a great sport for the spectator. I mean, it gets your blood pumping and your heart beating. I mean, it's very stressful. So, okay, let's move on to Autumn. Bucket list item. Anywhere you want to go someday, or?
I don't know.
Okay, we're gonna move on to another one. I'm not gonna make this difficult. Listen, if you were asking me these questions, just so you know, I might not have answers either. Okay, this isn't easy. I get it. I get it. Favorite dessert? How about that? Favorite dessert?
I love brownies.
Okay, all right. That's a good one. Scoop of vanilla ice cream?
No, just
a brownie.
Chewy, warm brownie.
Okay, all right. Let's see, one more for each, and then we're gonna wrap things up here. Kenzie, do you have any pets?
I do. I have a yellow lab named Hudson.
Okay. All right. Amber, here's the question that most people don't like to have asked.
No.
You may never talk to me again after this one, but favorite book? Do you have a favorite book?
I don't read books.
That's great. That's a great answer. You know what? You're not the only one that ever said that. I would so prefer somebody just come out and tell me I don't read books. Okay. Ding, 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 ding. Autumn, do you have a favorite book?
So I read the book It Ends With Us, and I really liked that. So.
Okay, good. All right. So, Amber, that's a very acceptable answer. Don't you worry.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Let's do this. You guys are going to get Payor apparel. Payor stands for play at your own risk. You're going to get Payor t-shirts. I need all three of your t-shirt sizes, please. Let's start with Amber.
I'm a small.
These are men's shirt. Men's small.
Yeah, probably.
Kenzie.
Men's medium.
And Autumn.
Yeah, medium.
Okay. All right. And before we wrap up, how about shout outs? Kenzie, you want to shout anybody out that may be watching or may watch later or something?
My grandma and grandpa are pretty big into they read a lot of the Mid-Penn articles and stuff, so they may be watching.
Oh, they're gonna watch. They're gonna watch. Well, I can always guarantee you that. So that's good. They're gonna like that. Amber?
I don't know if my dad's in the car still, but if he isn't, he's probably watching with Autumn's dad right now. They're in Ocean City.
Oh, good. What are they doing in Ocean City?
They're going to a concert together, apparently.
Okay. All right. Autumn, any shout outs?
Definitely just both of my sets of grandparents, my parents, any like girls on the team that are maybe watching, but
okay. And I'm going to shout out Coach Josh Brenneman.
Yeah.
Since nobody else did. Okay. Coach, you got three awesome young ladies here, three great players, and I'm so glad you guys joined us. So just want to wish you well the rest of the season.
Thank you.
Get back on the horse. You guys just got to keep on, get ready for these next up. I know you have Cumberland Valley coming up. You have State College. So, have fun. It seems like you win more playing a sport when you're having fun. Is that right? Is that?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. I mean, when you're kind of grumping around and, poor body language, you just don't tend to be winning usually. So let me just thank our sponsors here once again before we wrap up. These are Linglestown Gazette Sports Platinum sponsors, and they are Underdog Sports Bar and Grill, Crystal Bob at Howard Hanna Real Estate, Sam Hartley Decking. That's Coach Sam Hartley, the softball coach of Central Dauphin, Modern Imprint, Capital Region Insurance Agency, Hoffman Ford, Linglestown American Legion, Post 272, Tonino's Pizza, Team PA, AAU Basketball, Tire Mart, Freedom Financial Wealth Management, Ted's Bar and Grill, Payor Apparel, and Rickabaz Electric. Thanks again to those local businesses for their continued support. We really appreciate it. Once again, upcoming, we have scheduled this coming Tuesday, the 1st of October, will be some members of the Steel High football team. Same format as this. We'll do it remotely like this. And they have a big game this, I believe this Friday against Line Mountain. And then tune in. If you're a football person, tune in Sunday night. Every Sunday night at 6 o'clock, we do a high school football recap show. So for Amber Hanks, Kenzie Cover, Autumn Henry, thanks, ladies, very much. This has been a blast. You guys were awesome. I'm Joe Gilloway with Linglestown Gazette Sports. Thanks very much.